El Monstro. He just demolished, destroyed, and put to bed Ramirez in 6 rounds. This fight was awesome. This undercard was great as well. But we're here for the David Benavidez and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez fight. And yo, I told you so. Before we carry on with the video, make sure you like and subscribe to the video, to the channel, because I make videos daily about all things boxing. We're talking reactions, highlights of things, news, and what's coming up in the future in the boxing scene. So make sure you do like and subscribe, and comment in the comment section below what you thought of this fight. And did you think Benavidez was going to do it like I did, or did you actually think Ramirez might have come with an upset? Let me know down below. Right, guys, we're getting back into this video, and speed kills, bro. Speed kills. This guy, too fast. Too fast. And being in Cruiserweight did not make any difference. I didn't think it was. If you saw my preview, I might have been a bit too much on Benavidez's side. But listen, I don't have sides. I just see it how it is. And I saw Benavidez being the victor comfortably. He's just too much for Ramirez. Ramirez in his own right is actually a good fighter, and I have to give him his credit. He was a warrior. He's a tough cookie, and he tried his best, but his best was just not good enough. They both know each other very well. They're very acquainted with each other. They've gone over 100 sparring rounds with each other, so they know each other inside out. That's why I thought that, you know what, Ramirez didn't seem too overwhelmed by the blinding speed that Benavidez came with, because he just was comfortable there. He was getting blitzed, but he didn't seem like, oh my days, this is overwhelming. He wasn't shocked. In all fairness to him, he looked like he was actually trying to punch with Benavidez at times, but it just didn't work. That type of tactic was smart, but not smart enough, because Benavidez doesn't throw 2 to 3 to 4 punches. This guy goes in 6 and 8s. His combinations are almost everlasting. It's crazy. He doesn't go with just 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. It's you can't count. So when Ramirez tried to maybe catch him in an exchange, first he loses the exchange, then he gets overwhelmed once he tries to punch with Benavidez, so he's lost that. And then Benavidez goes over, like, takes the charge of the end of the exchange by just overwhelming him and coming off best by the end of the exchange. So it never worked when he tried to punch with Ramirez, to maybe try to use timing over speed, because Benavidez just has too much attrition. He's just putting too much in, you know what I mean? So it just didn't work in that aspect, and his tactic fell on its face a lot of the time, and it really just displayed how devastatingly fast and how overwhelming Benavidez's pressure and his combination punching is. So this fight, just, if you have seen David Benavidez before, you would know this is just not the fight for Ramirez. And something I gotta say as well, which I thought was a glaring issue, is Ramirez. When I first saw him coming out, like in the first round, I noticed he was really fleshy. I don't know if I noticed it as much before, but I really felt like he's got too much in the midsection. Like, I think his tactic was maybe to come in a bit more heavy to really establish that he is the bigger fighter, but it really didn't work. And it was more to his detriment, because he was getting hit way more than I expected. He was really slow. He's slow already, but he looked even more slow, and his feet was just heavy. He was trudging a lot. It was looking like too much of a chore for him to really step up and try and dash in at times. There was a couple of times where he tried to do that, but it looked like it took too much out of him. And by the time he did get to a position to punch, he already got blitzed, like, by four combinations. Like, in the space of like 10 seconds, 4 combinations, and he's just doesn't know what he was going to do. It almost seemed to break his rhythm. And that was a problem. This fight just did not start for Ramirez at all. I would say there was a bit of a valiant effort in the 5th round after he took a knee in that 4th round, because he just couldn't have any more. He needed a breather. He took that knee, then he finished off the round, came out in the next round, and he really tried to put it on David Benavidez. It didn't work for too long, but it really impressed me that he still had that much left, and he really tried to push it, but it was just inevitable. David Benavidez too fast, and his combination punches were accumulating so much damage that you could see Ramirez was really starting to wear down, even though his will might have wanted him to go more, like further into the fight. His body couldn't handle it. If you saw his face after the fight, I can understand why unfortunately, you could say in some ways that he quit and he took a knee and just stayed down, because you look at his eye, it looked really swollen to the point that it could have been an orbital fracture or a break, because, mate, his eye was closed shut, and there was just this, it was literally like about a fist, like he had like a fist on his eye. That's how swollen it was. He couldn't see from it, and it was clearly bothering him to the point that he couldn't take the pain anymore, or he knew something was wrong, like an orbital broke or something. So I can understand that he just couldn't take it. His body couldn't take it anymore. Maybe he wanted to go on more, but his body just couldn't handle it. Everything about this fight was wrong for Ramirez. From the size that he added on, which I thought was a detriment, to him trying to maybe employ certain tactics like punching while David Benavidez was punching, because it just didn't work. It was getting him more lit up, basically, and getting him more exposed. But I mean, what else could he have done? He was tucking up real nice at the beginning, but it just gave Benavidez all the time he wanted to just keep putting in shots however he liked to. So there was literally a lose-lose situation in most of the tactics that he was trying to enforce in that fight. Man, all I can say at the end of it, my verdict is David Benavidez deserves to be in a cruiserweight division. He is the monster, and he is the next boogeyman of this division. However, they're talking about the next fight being Bivol, and I agree 100%. That is the fight to make. Those two fantastic fighters, and I think if he wins the fight with Bivol, he's finished that division. He can go straight back up to cruiserweight, where I think the real fun fights are to make, the real money fights for him to make. With Chris Smith, we got Jay Opetaya, the whole Zuffa boxing promotion. But there are some juicy fights to make in a cruiserweight division for David Benavidez, where he can make more money, and I think where a lot of fans are really going to be joining in to watch. And we already know from the interviews that he considers himself at walking weight a cruiserweight. He considers himself walking around normally, naturally at 200. So 200 pounds. So I don't see this being an issue of him having to put on too much weight. He just doesn't need to cut. And if he doesn't need to cut, that means there's all the energy that he needs. Naturally, he's got all the energy he needs, and he won't be depleting himself in any way. So he's going to be 100%. 100%. Why not? Why not? You're also fantastic size for that weight. He's got a decent height. He's got decent range, like reach distance is fine for him in that weight. After his fight with Bivol, which I pray is the next fight, it's just the right fight to make, and it will definitely get in the numbers and get in the money that they will both be asking for. It's just the fight to make. After that, I can see David Benavidez being the monster of the cruiserweight division, the boogeyman of that division, because of all the things I've just explained in this video. So guys, I'm going to say it again, like and subscribe. Also comment in the comment section below if you think David Benavidez should be in the cruiserweight division. Let me know what you think, guys. and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.